My screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible. You can start. Yeah.
Today, good noon, everybody. Today, my topic is comparison between two poems, that is Dulce at Decorum East and The Soldier. First, we have to see that the biographical information about both the poets. First is Wilfred Edward Salter Owen. MC was an English poet and soldier. He was one of the leading poets of the First World War. And the second is Rupert Joyner Brooke, was an English poet known for his idealistic war sonnets written during the First World War, especially The Soldier. He was also known for his boyish good looks. Then, if we talk about the poem Dulce at Decorum East, this was written from Owen's period at the War Hospital in Craig Lockhart and in Edinburgh. In this, Owen was anxious to describe the way in a truthful way because, as it really was, because he saw no point in lying. I can see no excuse for deceiving you about these last 3 days, and I have suffered a seventh hell. Uh, Owen, in his poem Dulce at Decorum East, responds to a line by sweet to die for the sake of one's country. In this, Owens is criticizing Horace's romanticization of war by showing the brutality of trench warfare in World War One, which was a very different sort of war than that envisaged by the Roman poet due to the industrialization of military technology. Then that is rather than war being a matter of individual bravery, and it was a matter of mass killing. That infection or disease killed or maimed as many as direct hits by artillery. Then, if we talk about the main message of this poem, Dulce at Decorum East, that is uh, the main message from this poem is sweet. It is not sweet and fitting to die for one's country. And as so many people choose to believe that war is tragic and awful and gruesome and miserable, and so are the effects that it has on young people. Then a metaphor of this poem compares the effects of their extreme fatigue to being drunk. All three of these comparisons paint pictures of the awful effects war has on these young, healthy men, and they now seem older, de- decrepit, decrepit and weak, when they ought to be vital, vibrant, and innocent. Then in the poem "The Soldier," this was fifth in a series of poem entitled 1914. The poem is sentimental, patriotic, and epitaphic. In this poem, the closing says that the poem speaker suggests that his soul is eternally linked with England. The poem's familiar opening lines acquired even greater uh, poignancy as a result of Brooks' own wartime death. Then the question will be arriving that how are the soldier and Dulce at Decorum East the similar? Which points are matching in this both of the poem? First, the themes of the soldier and the Dulce at are very similar, as both deal with death, patriot, patriot, patriotism, and sacrifice and glorification of war. But the poems come to very different conclusions. Uh, then the in the poetic techniques, Owen writes this Dulcet decorum is with many poetic techniques such as similes, metaphors, personifications, rhyming, alliteration, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, direct speech, and irony. And irony is a key factor that shapes Owen's poem Dulcet decorum is. And while in the soldier, Brooke used alliteration, imagery, and rhyming. And example of one of these that Brooke uses in the poem is when alliteration is used to show the brilliance of England through repetition of consonants in sights and sounds. Then, in the style of Dulcet decorum East is similar to the French ballad poetic form by referencing this formal poetic form and then breaking the conventions of patterns of and rhyming. Owen acute- ex- uh, accentuates that disruptive and chaotic events being told. And while in the soldier it is a sonnet of two stanzas and octet of 8 lines and a sextet of 6 lines. It is the last in a series of 5 sonnets composed shortly after the outbreak of World War I. The soldier is about the probable death of a soldier, but the poem has little to do with dying. In the conclusion, we find that in this poem, The Soldier, Brooke depicts an idealized version of England to show his love for his country and to justify the possible death of himself and other soldiers during the war. And second, in the Dulcet Decorum East is an extreme contrast to Soldier as Owen tries to expose the reality of war with his very direct and realistic style. And here is my references and thank you very much all.
Sir,
Sir,
please
unmute your mic. Sir, please unmute your mic.
Okay, yes, questions to Bhumika. Who is going to ask questions?
Hello, Bhumika.
Yes, sir. Yaditi.
My question is, what is the main message of the poem Dulce at Decorum East?
Yes, the main message of this poem is it is not sweet and fitting to die for one's country as other people wants there.
Thank you.
Why Dulce at a Decorum East is well known.
It is well known due to its angry and bitter violence.
Okay, this poem is Dulce, Dulce et Decorum est. Dulce et Decorum est.
Okay.
Spanish word, dulce. Sometimes it is also pronounced as dulce, dulce, fe or se. That is how it is pronounced. Two pronounced in both the ways. Th in thin or sa in sin. Dulce or dulce. Either way it is pronounced. Okay. Okay, good comparison. Good comparison was there. You cited one resource also, Bartleby research essay on comparing the soldier and